Write your questions down. Okay. Okay. I have all chairs. She said she's about to. I'm out of golf. Then you're on head. You're good. Okay. Young Park's chairs. More chairs right there.
Do you want us to like put the video first, or just wait till it's in the computer?
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, you see everybody.
Thank you so much.
We have a few chairs up front if you guys want to come up. There. Move in this way.
Oh, sure. Does anybody already have their questions written? Yeah. You do? Okay. Thank you. Please, thank you. Can I have one of those cards? Yeah. Oh. I don't have any glasses.
Should roll some gaffer's tape. I got duct tape, you can eat it. Hold on. Oh, that's the microphone. Oh, well, never mind. I thought that was the machine. Oh.
Duct tape for keeping people from asking questions?
It fixes that problem, yes. I don't know what that is smoking out there, but I hope it's something they're cooking. Is that?
It's a mystery.
Oh, it's a mister. Okay.
You're right. That's it. Yeah, you might not be Thank you.
Question. Do they bring them to you or do they
What's taking you?
Okay.
I was sitting on but I can think on them.
So they're easier?
So that they can.
Yeah. I don't want them thinking that Councilwoman Schumer is not the case. So I'm like,
was looking at your flag pin there. What country is that?
It's for the Juneteenth.
Oh, okay.
For that.
Okay, I thought it was like Trinidad or Tobago or something. I was like, you're from Trinidad? So,
Flies in the city that weekend of Juneteenth. So started making pins.
Writing them on cards. If you need more cards, let us know.
Those are open right here. How are you?
Hello, everyone. Hello. We'll get started shortly. If anyone has any questions they've written out already, happy to collect those. I will answer them after a short presentation. I just want to say we will get started shortly. If anyone has any questions they've already written out, happy to take those. We will do a short presentation and then we'll be opening up to question and answer. So I'll walk around and get these questions shortly. Also, if we need translation, we do have a translator here. So if you need that service, just go see her. She'll give you a headset and we'll be all good to go. And we'll get started shortly. Thanks for your patience.
And again, there's some water outside and snacks on the table.
Translator, she doesn't have access.
Do you need one for your presentation?
No, because I'm just going to start it.
Okay.
It's just the video.
Oh,
That's the only thing.
oh, you're not doing. You don't have to have one. Oh, okay.
At least I have to get one.
I'm Ashley. Are you in budget? Sure.
He just said that you needed translation. Just say translation assistance. CD or something.
Buenas tardes a todos. Si alguien necesita traducción, estoy allá. Nomás vengan a mi lado y les doy sus aparatos para que puedan escuchar. Muchas gracias. That just said that if anybody needed any translation, just go see me over there so I can give you your headset so I can translate. De nada.
Hey.
How are you? Good. I've got some questions already.
Questions. All right. Excellent.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Laura Gavena. I'm the council member for District 6. I want to welcome you here. Thank you so much for taking the time to come and provide your input on the budget. This is actually the city manager's proposed budget that you're going to hear. And so Ms. Liz Cedillo is going to give the presentation and the overview, but I will be sitting in the back and taking notes and listening in. I think there's also some note cards that they've passed out for you to provide input as well. So thanks so much for being here, and my staff is in the back if you need anything, and so are my cards. But we look forward to hearing from y'all. Thanks.
Thank you, Councilmember Cadena, and thank you everybody for being here this evening. We have a full house, and I know we already have questions that have been submitted. So if you have a question that you'd like to ask tonight, would you raise your hand and we'll bring over a note card for you to ask. Or you could say it, verbally if you'd like that as well. I'm Liz Cedillo Pereira. I serve as an assistant city manager for the city of Dallas, and together with all of my colleagues here from the city, thank you, my colleagues, for being here from the city of Dallas, and greetings on behalf of the city manager. Please excuse my delay. I was at a meeting south of here and ran into traffic with City Manager Tolbert, but we're very excited to get input on this year's budget proposal that council has now been briefed on, and to take your questions and comments for us. First, hi Ashley, we're going to play a small video so that you can get an overview of what the budget entails. So let's go ahead and play this.
Sorry, we're trying to get it to the people in the back in here.
Sure. Can everybody hear? Everybody hear? Okay. Hear me on the mic, right?
Not her on the video.
Oh, you should be able to turn the volume
Dallas
off.
is a globally recognized city, and we are, since becoming your hello Dallas, since becoming your city manager, I have focused on where Dallas is and where our organization is going.
Volume 100.
Recognized city, and we are evolving into an innovative, efficient government focused on targeted economic growth. We are elevating our focus on service first now by overhauling your customer experience and ensuring that each and every interaction that you have with our City of Dallas team members, that is not only productive, but it's also positive. We recently welcomed new leadership in both the Dallas Police Department and Dallas Fire and Rescue, bringing in a new era of public safety effectiveness for our residents. And that is just the tip of the iceberg. The foundational pillars of our organization are made up of every program, every service, and every initiative that you see and those that you don't. And they keep our city competitive. They keep us grounded and strong. This year, just as many other cities across the country, we are faced with some tough budget decisions with limited resources. We have taken a new approach to developing the budget, where every program that we invest in, we are ensuring that those programs provide value to you, our residents. We're also ensuring that those programs provide the greatest impact and therefore receive the largest investment. Based on our recent community survey, maintenance of our infrastructure, police services, and social services like investments in addressing our unsheltered residents, those have been identified as our top priorities. So over the next several weeks, you will have an opportunity to attend one of the many budget town hall meetings where you can engage in person or virtually with your city staff and your city council representatives. We invite you to visit the financial transparency page at dallas.gov for additional details. In addition to attending the public hearings, you can also submit written feedback and make your opinions and your voice heard. We want this process to be transparent, and we also want it to be efficient. And most of all, we want it to be impactful. Together, we will continue to build on our momentum and keep running up the score to put Dallas at the top of the leaderboard where it belongs.
So thank you for listening to the video here, and we have a number of questions, but before, I wanted to just give a few facts that the city manager already iterated, but I will repeat them. The recommended debt budget for the upcoming year, fiscal year 25-26, begins on October 1st, as we all know, and will run until September 30th of 2026. It totals $5.2 billion. This includes the general fund, enterprise funds, and capital fund. And so the general fund portion of the budget is $1.97 billion. And the city council will have the opportunity to hear from you through these various town hall meetings such as this, and work alongside other council members through the city council amendment process for resident priorities before the adoption on September 17th. So if you have any questions, I'll start taking them. And we have a number of people from all across the city departments. Looks like perfect attendance, so thank you there, City of Dallas team, who can answer these questions. And if we can't, we certainly will follow up. But we're gonna focus on the city manager's proposed budget this evening. I know there's a number of questions. Some of them may not necessarily be germane to the budget process, relevant to the budget process, but we're happy to talk with you offline or after the meeting, etc., if we can't get to all your questions. So we're gonna focus on the budget questions and then see how much time we have left. So here we go. Ooh, gonna start with a hard one. Why are we seeing cuts to one of our most utilized and only remaining free spaces, our libraries? Anybody wanna raise your hand if that's your question? Okay. Oh, okay. Here, the red shirts. Thank you for that question. And I see our library team is here, so I'll start there. And then if I need to supplement, happy to do that too. Do you need to take a mic? Yes. Is there a mic that can go around for Melissa? Or you can come up. How about that? I'm going to pass it to one of our assistant directors at the library, Melissa.
Thanks. So your question was why the library? So we all have to do our part to balance the city budget, and because the Skillman Southwestern branch was not funded this year, there really wasn't any room for an enhancement to keep that open.
Thank you for covering that question, and if we need to follow up with more information, we're happy to do that and have a conversation. So it says, when will the city start implementing the bike plan? And then there's a second part to it, adding more in the budget to address homelessness issues. Okay, so it's two questions. So who do we have from TPW who can talk about the bike plan? Come on up.
We're working on it.
Working on it for this too.
I know we're working on it.
Yeah. No, getting up here.
Oh, getting up here is.
And the bike plan. Yeah.
Thanks, Scott.
Hi, good evening. My name is Scott Walton. I'm an assistant director in the Department of Transportation and Public Works. We are responsible in part for the bike plan. Whoever asked the question, I'm sure you probably know that the city council did adopt the bike plan this year. There is money in the bike plan. The bike plan is one of the few things that actually has a multi-year fund. The city has committed to putting $2 million a year into that fund in order to prepare us to get and build more bike lanes. So for this upcoming fiscal year, there's actually $3.6 million for bike plans. And so $2 million of that is from that multi-year fund. Then we have about $1.6 million that's coming from a DART fund. And of that 3.6, $300,000 of it is for bike lane management. So when we talk about bike plans, please keep in mind that before a bike plan's actually built, it actually has to be designed, engineered, and that takes some time. And we're in that process. If you actually look at the bike plan, it's the first phase, which we're in, has a 0 year, and then year 1 through 5. So this current fiscal year was the 0 year. This will start the 1.5 this year. And we do plan to have some bike lanes built toward the end of the new fiscal year for 26. I have to remember what year we're in. So anyway, hopefully that answers that question.
Thank you. That's a great. Do you have a follow-up?
Well, yeah, follow
Hi
up
there,
on the
Ronnie.
question was really,
Well, hold on. Let me get you his mic.
How are you, sir?
He mentioned the budget for the bike path or bike plan. How much of that is going to the consultants? Do y'all design the paths yourselves, the city of Dallas, or is there like outside consultants? Because there's a lot of money being spent on these consultants, spent on consulting firms, which a lot of them don't do their job. You know, we've already experienced that. So do you design these paths, the city of Dallas, or?
So we have a program manager that's been assigned over the bike plan. So yes, we do use consultants to help design these, you know, because it's easier, it is actually cheaper to be able to do it this way, and they're scalable. As I mentioned, you start designing, and then you start building, and so your design, you don't need it as much because you get into a construction phase. So, but I don't have a breakdown.
Your budget do you spend on consultants?
Yeah, I'll have to get you that number. I don't have a budget number specifically for that. So.
Thank you. And I see that Sophia with the transportation department is getting your information so that we can follow up and provide that information to you, Mr. Ronnie. Thank you, Scott.
There is one
Is this
more.
about the bike lanes?
Yeah, because I asked
Okay.
the other question is, so the other question I'm going to ask is, what about the sidewalks as well? Because we have a lot of broken sidewalks and neglected sidewalks. The reason I asked that plan is there's a bike plan, and there's been a plan since 2011. So we're 14 years into this, and you're still telling me that you're in the planning phases. When are you going to start implementing? When are we going to start getting the fixture of the sidewalks? When we're going to start getting, I mean, just it's a matter of painting bollards in some cases just to get the bike lanes built.
So we're kind of crossing different deals because you're asking kind of about sidewalks and bike plan.
Right.
Right. So we have a sidewalk plan. There is money in our budget to continue building out sidewalks, providing barrier-free ramps where they're not currently in place. And if you're not sure what that is, that's where at your intersections, we still have old curbs that don't allow people who have difficulties with the height or maybe in a wheelchair to add these barrier-free ramps so they can make that access. So that's all. We do add sidewalks every year, and I do have a more detailed plan. If you want to talk after this, I can get you specifics.
Thank you so much. And if you want to know more about the bike plan, it's at page 32 of the budget book this year. And excited about the implementation phases of the bike plan that was not long ago adopted. I'm going to try to respect the people who filled out the note cards by addressing these first. So if you'd like to get a note card and ask a question, can you raise your hand and we'll bring them around?
You didn't do a follow-up on the thing that was on the card.
Yes, sir. I'm going to get to that question about homeless services, right? Thank you for keeping me clear. I'm going to ask Jessica Galashaw to come up and talk a little bit about our investments in homelessness service and our development of a new office that combines housing pathways.
A lot of things in my hand.
Sorry.
Okay. Great. Hi, everyone. My name is Jessica Galish. I'm the director of the Office of Community Care. And Victor Amuyo is here from the Office of Homeless Solutions as well. So if I mess it up on the specifics, you correct me, sir. All right. So thank you so much, ACM Liz. We are creating a new department called the Office of Housing and Community Empowerment, which is actually bringing together some key functions from our homelessness solutions work, our community care work, our housing department, as well as our Office of Equity and Inclusion, into a couple of service pathways, one of those being what we're calling our housing pathways. So the housing pathways is really anchored in the foundation of our affordable housing investments. So if you're wondering, okay, what is happening with that housing department, right? So the core services that really focus on people and communities are going to be coming into this new Office of Housing and Community Empowerment. So we're going to be administrating those federally funded programs, the homeowners assistance programs. We're going to be administering the home repair programs, and some of those production programs using those federal funds. And this is actually going to create a really much more cohesive pathway, even for our developers, because our economic development team is really going to focus on that mixed income development work and some of those other pieces. And some other functions are moving into other departments. So with that anchor, focusing on the development of affordable housing in our community, we're also going to bring into our portfolio services related to homelessness solutions. And so we have a kind of 4-track model where we are focusing on shelter to home, street to home, of course, keeping people housed, and we're making, I only said 3 things. Sorry, I only said 3 things. Let me pull my notes. And we're making investments into each of those key strategies. And some of those investments are coming out of this general fund project budget, and some of those investments are actually coming, thank you. And some of those are coming out of the ARPA monies that we still have available. So we're making a pretty transformational fund contribution, $10 million investment into a home after shelter program, which is really going to be focusing on helping people who are in shelters get into housing, get into permanent housing, right? And so that is a big new investment for us. The Street to Home program is one that we've been working with our continuum of care partners for quite a long time, and they're going to continue to do that work, reaching our residents that are experiencing homelessness on the streets and helping them get into housing placements. We also have a program called Return to Home, and so Return to Home, that's the one I didn't mention earlier. So Return to Home is actually focused on different opportunities like reuniting families, reuniting individuals with their families, as well as support towards diversion services. So trying to keep people out of that homelessness shelter system in the first place by kind of intervening before they get there. And then, of course, the at-home program, and that is helping people who are housing unstable to maintain those housing. And so there's going to be some investment in helping people with eviction advocacy work, as well as funding invested in some homelessness prevention type services. So we really think that this pathway is bringing together core components from across these departments. Like right now, some of these things are in housing, some of these things are in community care, some of these things are in the Office of Homelessness Solutions, but really they all function together to create this cohesive system of supporting our residents that are unhoused, our residents that are at risk of becoming homeless, and just residents in general. Everybody can face tough times here and there, and we really don't want that to become a pathway into homelessness. So that's a general kind of overview. We're pretty excited. I think that this kind of a transformative new approach, like bringing all of these things together cohesive so that they're all working together so that we can continue to serve folks wherever they are on that spectrum of need. So I don't know if that answered the question.
That's a good long response.
Sorry, I have a follow-up.
We're gonna stick to this. Can you go ahead and write it out?
Yeah.
That'd be great. Okay, thank you. And one of the things that I noted from the council members' feedback was that's great because it's been difficult to point our residents in one direction. So now that we're having all of these services under one roof, our intention is to be more impactful so that our residents know how to reach us for these important services. That was Councilmember Cadena who made that comment at council, and we really appreciated it. So the next question that I have in front of me is, West Dallas needs more police officers. In the weekends for hours after 9 p.m., funding for night patrol is needed. Can we have DPD take this question? Come on up. And it's a little bit off, the budget per se, but if you can give us some insights there, officer, we'd appreciate it. Thank you.
Hello, how you doing? I'm Deputy Chief from Just Allen.
Deputy Chief.
That's fine.
Sorry.
Of course, for more officers, I guess I can say that this year that we are above attrition numbers. We're looking at right at 3,200 officers right now. Last year we were down like 100 or so officers, but we're well above attrition. For us, the staffing, that is based off the needs of the Chief of Police, where he wants to do his enforcement. The Southwest Division has his own Deputy Chief, or her, because right now it's Kylie Hawks right now. So if you have any issues in West Dallas, and I think West Dallas have their own group here, then you also have the Rock and those other organizations. So if you have one extra patrol under certain hours, contact your local station and they will do extra patrols for you. So that's not a bad thing. So necessarily if you want more officers at certain times, it's very important that we know what times those are. So for example, in my division, I would say if you want them from 9 to 12, what exactly are you seeing during those times and who does it affect? That tells me exactly what organization, what crime response team I want to respond out to handle your needs, whether it's narcotics, whether it's vice, whether it's prostitution, whatever it is. That tells me exactly what I need to know. And what was the second part of the question? Sorry.
You're going to have to speak up because the folks in the back here, they can't really hear you. You might have to repeat that.
More patrols after 9 p.m.
Well, for more patrols after 9 p.m., that is more so of a divisional thing. When you want extra patrol during those specific times from 9 to midnight, whatever it may be, contact your local station, give them exactly what your problems that you're having, whether it's prostitution, homelessness, drugs, whatever they may be. Tell them specifically what that is so we know exactly what units we need to put out there. We can always say, hey, it's gonna be 5 officers, maybe 4 officers, just what the needs. The staffing needs for those certain hours for the division is based off the Chief of Police, what he wants to staff the numbers for. So that's not up to the chief or myself, how many officers we have assigned to each station. Each station, some stations may have 200 officers, some may have 150, depending on, or the beat. It may vary from beat to beat, so it depends. So try not to compare. So, but whatever your needs are, let us know, and we can get additional resources from headquarters or whomever to come and assist you with whatever you may need.
Thank you, Deputy Chief.
I'm the one that said that. I live at Prom March, and we've done that. I think there's a lot of people that go to our meetings that from West Dallas, and specifically West Dallas 1. After hours, the criminals know there's no police officers out here. And that has to change because they're smart. So you're talking to someone that has been calling and knows, and every month I have a meeting. So I need someone to reach out to Debbie Solis, because that way in the next meeting when people show up, because they call me and there's things happening. You were talking about bike lanes. I wouldn't even want to ride a bike out here because we have the 4-wheelers we can't get rid of in your street. And we've talked and called, and we just need help in the weekend for sure.
Yes, right now, like I said, the budget's set for additional 350 officers. Once we get those officers through the academy and trained, it takes time to do that. So let's say we hire 350 officers next year. There's a 10-month academy and I think another 6 months in the field training. So you still have to look at, even though we might hire them in 2025, they may not be officially ready by 2027 by the time they get on the street. They're taking place for retirements and things of that nature. So once we get those officers in the field, based off the chief, we would definitely, based off staff, and get those officers where we need them to be.
So you're telling us it's going to take 2 years?
Well, I'm gonna move on, but we have a goal of ending 25-26 with 3,424 sworn police officers. But thank you for that question and your follow-up comments. Okay, so I'm gonna go to the next question. I have heard the Dallas Animal Services budget is going to be decreased. Do we have? I see Paul. When DAS gets 60% of the 311 calls for strays, hurt animals, protective custody, wildlife, coyotes, We need more support, but not less. Can you take this, Director Ramon?
Yes, thank you. My name is Paul Ramon. I'm the director for Dallas Animal Services. In the budget book, it kind of details what it is that we actually worked with the budget office to try and make our part in supporting the balanced budget. What we did was we looked at things that we could reimagine, realize as far as realignments, and we moved some responsibilities to other folks in order to save funds. But if you look at it, we're actually adding funds in this next budget cycle of about $1.5 million to Dallas Animal Services to support suspected animal cruelty in those operations that we perform in support of Dallas Police Department's cruelty unit. In the next fiscal year after that, in 27, it goes up to $2 million. So we're actually adding money to our budget, but we're looking at efficiencies where we can move and realign and make some adjustments to contribute to a balanced budget. So we will continue to do everything that we can to respond to the calls that we have, and at the same time realize some efficiencies that we got.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate that question. And the next question is, there's $34.5 million, it states, is devoted to replace sanitation and sewage vehicles. The question is, can we use NTC cogs?
No signal. PC HDMI 2.
Sorry about
One,
that.
check the cable connection and the settings of the source device. 2, press source below to select the connected source.
Can we turn
Connection
that?
guide button.
Somebody's listening to us. Okay. Can we use NTC cogs new funds for zero emissions heavy equipment? Let me get it in there to purchase some of these vehicles. Thank you, Ashley. Do we have sanitation here?
We do, but
Okay. Come on up.
That was more of a EFM type of question.
Okay. Come on up. How are you? Can you please tell your name, please?
Sure. Matthew Amon, Assistant Director of Equipment and Fleet Management. So we actually do regularly talk to the COG and explore grant opportunities where available. And we currently have a couple grants to replace traditional ICE, the heavy-duty sanitation trucks, with CNG. So we are looking at options for electric vehicles as well. For the heavy-duty vehicles, we're evaluating how well they perform. I know other cities like Denver has made great strides with replacing some of their sanitation trucks with all electric. So we're monitoring that and looking at it and working with the COG on a regular basis.
Thank you. And it says, this is a question, will the city fund community block grant program? Whose question is that?
That's mine.
Okay, can you, are you talking about CDBG or?
Yeah, CDBG.
Okay.
I left out the D.
Oh, that's okay. The Community Development Block Grant Program. Do you want to come talk about it?
Sure.
Okay. Yes.
Okay. Hi, Jessica Galashaw again. So the Community Development Block Grant Program is actually funds that come to us from the federal government through the Housing and Urban Development Department. So we do receive those funds. We actually, City Council approved just last week the plan for what we call the consolidated plan. That consolidated plan is kind of this annual kind of budget / activity plan for those funds from HUD, which includes CDBG, as well as other funding sources like ESG, which is Emergency Solutions Grant, HOPWA, which stands for Housing Opportunity for Persons with AIDS. So we do receive those funds. We are in the second year right now. We have to do a 5-year plan, so we're in the second year of our 5-year consolidated plan, and we just adopted the budget for this specific year for the funding that we're getting. So the city does not fund CDBG, but we do receive, accept, and administer CDBG funding. Right. Correct.
So that you provide I guess you're required to attend some kind of training program or something.
Yeah, so yes, there are a number of trainings and technical assistance that various staff members do attend. It's not easy for the community to apply.
Yeah.
Well, that kind of depends on the programmatic structure. So some of the funding is actually used for services like, for example, the recreation centers and their out of school time, kind of after school programs. So some of that actually supports the direct services and some of it might be with partnerships. So the way that is structured, it's actually like a series of programs. And And as far as what could theoretically be available to the community, within CDBG, there's what's called the public services cap, and then there's the other side of it, which is for all those kind of development type and housing type programs. So between the two of those, you know, there's different avenues for applications from community organizations. It's pretty complicated, so I think we'd probably just need to follow up and talk about what specific area of interest you might have. I do, yes.
And there's going to be some hearings. Isn't there a public hearing coming up?
Yeah, I think there is.
There's going to be a public hearing coming up, so let's get that information to you. And let's get back to the budget. The proposed budget emphasizes public safety and road infrastructure funding. It has been said that this budget is a good start as a city priority, but road/infrastructure funding needs to be increased for a better start. Where can money be found in the city budget to make this a reality? So do we have our TPW people that can talk about our investments in road infrastructure and what this budget does to advance that work? Thank you, Scott.
Again, Scott Walton, Transportation Public Works.
You might just want to.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna play my luck. Yeah, I'm not sure I need this, but anyway, as was mentioned earlier, you know, there was a citizen survey where the city listens to what the residents have to say, and one of the top concerns has been infrastructure. The city manager heard this loud and clear. For like the current fiscal year, we were doing 710 miles of road, basically construction, reconstruction, resurfacing, adding onyx, which is a surface treatment that makes it last longer. But that's been increased. We were given an extra $10 million for next fiscal year, so we can do 750 miles. So that's an extra 40 miles of street maintenance. So that you're going to see that. In addition, the plan, even going into 27, is to raise that to 800 miles. So again, this budget really does reflect a dedication to improving the infrastructure so everybody can feel better about it. So we did hear what you had to say.
Thank you. It says we're asking to utilize budget funds for non-conforming use fund to close polluters in West Dallas. So I know that we have a number of these comments and appreciate the comments. And if you'd like to stay afterward and talk about that area of issue, then we invite you to do that. But please, let's go ahead and, I know that you said utilize the budget funds for non-conforming use. I don't know if planning would like to make any just general comments on fund usage.
I am Megan Weimer. I'm with Planning and Development. I really don't have much information to offer at this point. I mean, it's not a determination by planning if funds are available. So, yeah, I mean, we can take names, get back with you, chat after. Sorry, I don't have more to offer at this point.
And what's the best way to contact the department?
Probably through our website.
Okay.
So there's nobody that knows about it? We can't have a conversation in public?
I mean, it says the chief financial officer. I mean, it's not our department. I'm not able to speak on it.
So let's, you're asking about specifically the budget question. So
Yeah, is it not a budget line item?
I don't know. Let's look through the budget and see if we can find. I don't think it is, but let me find out. If anybody knows, please correct me. But thanks so much for the question and the comment. And then this is another one. Sometimes individuals who become homeless have pets, and what happens to these pets is uncertain. Can funds be used to help these individuals be added to the Homelessness Solutions Program's budget? So can we have Victor come up and talk about how that is enveloped as part of Homeless Solutions budget? Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Victor Moyo. I'm the finance manager for OHS. Based on that question, we do have funds to help people in homelessness, either street to home or people to connect them with their family members, or to help people or during inclement weather for unsheltered population. But I'm not sure if we do have anything for people with pets. But I do recognize that during the last inclement weather, people with pets were allowed to the inclement weather center and the whatever center that we have, the one at what do you call that? It's not coming from my mouth. Where we have Fair Park, and the Fair Park where we hosted the homelessness. We do offer people with pet opportunity to bring the animals in. But specifically to say on an annual basis that we budgeted for people with pets to support pets, I'm not sure of that. But we do allow people to bring their pet to any shelter that we have.
If I could add to that.
Thank you, sir. Paul, I'm gonna call you up here too because this next question is for you. So just come on down. Come on down first. Can there be a capital investment made for renovating the HVAC at the animal shelter, Mr. Armand? And the building is 19 years old, and every summer the HVAC has serious issues putting our staff.
We understand that, and I'll let my colleagues speak on the AC issues, but in support of the Office of Homeless Solutions and their efforts to bring in the unsheltered with pets, Dallas Animal Services and the SPCA partner with Office of Home Solutions to provide those crates and food and tools and supplies that are necessary to allow those folks to come in out from the weather so that they can be with their pets. And we have staff that also work with them to ensure if the pets need any possible vaccinations or any resources after the fact, that we make those connections. So DAS does play a part in that. But as far as the HVAC, I will turn that over to my colleague.
Hello, good evening. Carolina Yumet, Assistant Director in Facilities and Real Estate Management. To the question of adding to the capital plan an HVAC project for the Dallas Animal Shelter, we currently do work very closely with the Dallas Animal Shelter, and we have plans to incorporate a project for mechanical rehab on Dallas Animal Services in our upcoming FY26 capital plan. So the answer will be yes, we're looking into that to include that as part of our projects. But currently FRM has completed ongoing maintenance to preventive maintenance tasks to the HVAC systems at DAS. And again, we work closely with our partners, and we deploy temporary cooling equipment when we are aware that repairs of the system may take a little longer. So we're always trying to keep the temperatures in an appropriate temperature for the animals and the staff, of course.
Those temporary cooling units are large and they have a lot of cords everywhere. People can trip and somebody's going to get hurt. That's not a very good solution.
With that solution, what we could do is probably make sure that everything gets strapped in together. But again, with the temporary cooling is how we try to maintain the temperatures while we wait for the repairs, because sometimes the lead times to receive parts for the repairs of the equipment, they take longer, and we cannot leave that place without HVAC.
Thank you so much. And one is going to be a library and one is going to be a DPD. So here it goes. So it's related to the HERO amendments and how we're speaking to the budget to impact the land for the police training facility. Can you identify programs that have been cut to accommodating this budgeting requirement? So as you have seen throughout the budget, if you've been able to see it, or some of the briefings that the city manager's budget has attempted to align with what our requirements are under these amendments, under the Prop U, et cetera, while also looking for efficiencies and ways where we can be innovative in our approach. As an example is the consolidated Department of now Housing, Community Care, Equity and Inclusion, and Homeless Solutions, where we are now seeing that we can create some efficiencies in the tune of $6.2 or $3 million as a result of the consolidation. So we're doing things like that that are allow us going to have more impact in our service delivery model, while also looking to find efficiencies. And this is across multiple departments, not just one or two. But I'd like to ask DPD to come up and add on to that.
Thank you. Major Nathan Swires. So one of the things we're doing to comply with the HERO Amendment, and the big thing is getting us up to 4,000 officers. We've changed some of our requirements to where now we will hire candidates that only have a high school education and 3 years of work experience. We're thinking that's going to get us more candidates in, get us up to that number more quickly. The city manager has, in our budget, committed to hiring more officers every year. It's going, as Deputy Chief Allen said, it is going to take some time for us to get up to that number because we have to get them into the academy. It takes 10 months. We have to get them trained. We have to get them out on the street. But we are working hard to get to that. As far as the new academy, a lot of that is done through a public and private partnership. We're getting private money to help fund a lot of that. We've also gotten money from the state to help fund that. So there are contingencies to get that funded as well.
Thank you, sir. And this is an encouragement to City Council, specifically Councilmember Cadena and City staff to supporting the amendment. Not city staff, Cadena to supporting the amendment to retain FY 24-25 library budget levels and fully fund the Skillman Southwestern branch that's up for closure. The proposed budget cuts to the library are less than 0.01% of the total budget, but represent a devastating cut to our library system and those it helps most. No response needed. Thank you for the comment. This is another non-conforming use, and we will take that in conversation following the meeting. And is there any other questions that we have? Yeah. Oh. Okay. These are the questions that we have received, written in format. We have about 5 to 6 more minutes. We can take a few questions that have not been already stated. If it's a new question, would prefer to have a new question that hasn't already been stated so that we can get to as many different subjects as we can. Yes?
Can I get the mic? Are you gonna extend the time of the meeting because it started 15 minutes late?
Good question.
That was my fault, so I'm happy to stay 15 to 30 minutes late as needed. So I don't want to keep all of my colleagues, but certainly I will take full credit for being here and caught in traffic. But thank you for the question.
That was not my comment.
Okay.
My comment is actually just for everyone here. Even though this budget process is very difficult and complicated on purpose by design, I think we can all understand that the gist of this budget is that everyone is quote unquote doing their part to fund the police department and to fund these 350 police officers that are not going to get hired because the city of Dallas has never hired more than 250 police officers in a year. If anything, those numbers are just to appease the hero people. Sorry about that. So I think we need to really listen to everyone here, especially the libraries. That comment was so condescending about we all have to do our part. Everyone is doing their part except for the Dallas Police Department.
Can you put it in the form of a question?
It was not a question, It was a comment.
Thank you for the comment. Okay, so let's take some questions about the budget and appreciate the comment. But do you have a question?
Yes.
Okay, great.
Yeah, so obviously I don't want the library budget to be cut in any way, shape, or form. I'm concerned that the cuts to the library budget will lead to the loss of job-seeking programming, summer meal services to children, ESL classes, shelter during bad weather, etc. We've already seen that impact. So I'm curious if other departments aside from the library are covering the loss of these services. Because for me, library cuts will deeply hurt our community. So are other departments doing more in these areas?
doing more to
job seeking, shelter for homeless people during the day, ESL programming.
Right. Well, the programming at the library will continue, and yes, we have we are consolidating our homelessness services from the central branch into the new office of housing and community empowerment, and so those services, along with our ecosystems of the continuum of care, will continue. But thank you for that question. Yes.
Thank you. I know that the non-conforming use questions can feel like a random issue to a lot of city staffers, and I've had those conversations myself. But for those of us that live, on the Singleton corridor, driving past the factory every day, smelling the fumes of the pollution every single day, it doesn't feel like a random issue. It feels existential. Studies have shown that the pollution that comes out of this factory can spread up to 30 miles in the direction that the wind blows, typically north. And so I understand you said it's not a line item in the budget, but we're asking to create a line item in the budget to fund the non-conforming use fund that was created as a result of SB 529 that Tan Parker put forth. According to the Dallas, the DCAD, it would only cost about 2% of the city's budget, approximately $50 million, to buy out the land that GAF is on right now. And so that's what we're asking for. It's not, it's not a technical question. Is there anyone that could respond to that or speak to whether that's a possibility?
A possibility to add a line item for non-conforming use fund?
Yeah.
Okay, is there anyone here who's well versed in that area that can respond to that? Okay, we're gonna have to get back to you on that specific question, but we do have a number of concerted efforts, right, that are working in the community in tandem. I'm listening, I'm hearing. It's not a random issue that you bring up. It's a valid concern. So if I gave that impression, that's not what my intention was. We have been working alongside the Office of Environmental Quality and Sustainability, along with our leaders in the community and our council members, to ensure that we're doing things like putting up air monitors in areas where we know where there is need for having a closer eye on the air our residents are breathing, et cetera. And so these are issues that continue to be funded in this year's budget. And I don't know, do we have somebody from OEQS who can speak specifically to our air monitoring? Oh, here you go. Hi, Jeff.
Hello. Thanks. So good evening. My name is Joseph Vu. I'm the interim superintendent for OEQS. So if I understand the question correctly, like ACM Liz said, I'm not entirely too sure about having funds dedicated to the non-conforming use piece. That sounds like we're going to have a discussion later. But in terms of the air monitors in West Dallas, if I recall correctly, there are a number of air monitors that have been installed and are operating in West Dallas. I believe that any of the data is available to the public, and they are maintained through our Dallas County Air Monitoring Program group. And so if anybody wants any additional information, I can meet with you afterwards, collect your contact information, and connect you with the DCAM team.
Thank you, Joe. I saw a gentleman who's been having his hand up patiently. Sir, in the green shirt.
My question is for TBT and concerning the budget. You guys, there's an equation for hiring. You got funds. You have funds always for hiring. You got hiring. You have police officers leaving. You have police officers that are going through the academy and going off to other cities, towns, or whatever. So what is the final? Are you winning? Is the numbers going up?
As of right now, we're up.
Losing money, because I know that was a problem.
As of right now, we're up. Now in the academy, we typically would have 20-25 people in the academy.
Deputy Chief, do you mind coming on the mic? Sorry, I can't. Not everybody can hear you.
Yes, sir. Currently, we are up in numbers. So we're about 100 up right now. Like I said, we're proposed to hire an additional 350 officers. Right now, we have 4 classes going on in the academy. Typically, we have about 20-25 people in those academies. We're averaging about 50 to 60 people in these classes right now. So it's right now, we probably got about 200 in class right now. So we probably look at about another 2 or 3 classes graduating this year. Then by next year, we have 4 or 5 additional more classes, looking at about another 200, 250 officers that way. So we're winning in the game. And right now, the city has increased their funding for advertising, recruiting, so it has been beneficial.
What about the police officers that are going through the academy and going to work? That was the problem with you guys.
As of right now, we don't have anything in place. That is a concern of ours. The chief has been talking to the commanders about finding ways in order to keep those officers here. You're correct. So typically what happens is we have officers that go through the training, then at some point they get offered by another agency to come work for them for more money. But the city has been gracious. I think with the next 2025 and by 2027, I think the starting salary is going to be about $85,000 for officers. So the city is doing everything that they can to start the starting salary for officers to keep them, because we're competing with the suburban towns, which they're paying a whole lot more money to the beginning. But the city is doing everything they can to start their starting salary to about $85,000 by 2027.
Thank you. So when you look at other areas and incentives for pay, we rank ourselves at number 3 in the regional area. So it has been a concerted effort of our council, of our residents, right? We've heard that, and of our city manager and her team to put together a concerted effort so that we can ensure not only to recruit but retain the best for our forces. Thank you for the question. Okay, we're going to take 2 more questions, and then I'm going to stick around. And then we're going to dismiss the whole. Thank you.
Quick question, and is related with the homeless. What funding or budget resources are available in the city of Dallas to support programs for homeless children, in this case, who have been separated from their parents due to the ICE enforcement?
Question.
Well, thank you for the question, and it's part of a whole continuum of care that Director Galashaw talked about. We work in tandem with Housing Forward, our community partners, our nonprofit agencies, to infuse investments into our homelessness services. And so, while I don't know that we have a line item for children who are separated from their families due to deportation efforts, I know that in the tune of $27 million, the city is investing from last year, from years past, but also in this year's budget, to infuse dollars into our homelessness ecosystem so that it can be supported in various ways. And if there's somebody who can speak specifically to children, I invite them to raise their hand. Thank you, Kevin. Thank you for that excellent question. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, my name is Sophia Graham. I lived in West Dallas through the lead smelter plant. I want to know who was on the city council when they had this plant come to West Dallas, and why would the city of Dallas allow another plant to come to West Dallas?
Okay. We're going to focus on the budget tonight, but I'm happy to speak with you afterward and to hear your concern. Thank you. And so one more question, and then we're going to dismiss for the evening. And thank you so much for your time and attention and your great questions and comments. Anyone? Yes.
Have any cuts been made to the DPT?
They had a number of areas where they had to also submit cost reductions. Let me see where we can find that. Do you have it offhand, Deputy Chief? Where is it? Reduced funding for uniform overtime expenses.
75%.
Yeah, and that was to the tune of $11.9 million. Is that correct, sir? Okay, thank you. Thank you for the question. Okay, well, again, thank you for engaging us this evening. I don't know if Councilmember Cadena would like to say any words. She's like waving. If you have any questions for us, we'll be around and also to talk and chat. But I want to thank all of my colleagues again from the City of Dallas. We're going to have a number of other town halls, and so please keep connected with us. And thank you for your time and attention and for your passion about your issue areas. Have a great evening.
Thank you.
Okay?
So in 23, the state passed the city has to comply. In February of this year, it has if it's not allowed, it's not aware.
So I've checked with our director, and he was telling me there is a planned shared bike plan sidewalk for Bernal. It's a 10-foot sidewalk. So just so you know, that is something that is on the plans, and you can find the bike plan on the.
No, I've been studying it a long time. It's just, and I've been submitting some ideas as well. I don't live in this area. I came here as a favor to one of the community people here, but it's just one of those things I've been asking. 2011, and so you're telling me there's still a plan. I was like, well, when are they going to start implementing some of that? So.
Yeah, there's a lot of bike paths that have been implemented already, and keep in mind there's a mix of plans that are like on street versus actually on parks. The majority of them is actually on park property. So when you start looking at all that, but there's actually going to put on the internet here's where we're planning it to be built, here's what the timeline is, all that's going to be on our website, okay?
All right, great. We'll talk again in 2 weeks, because I have a feeling I'll see you at the KB Polk.
Yeah, I've signed up for about, 5 or 6, so it may be me, it could be somebody else.
Okay.
So, thank you.
Because we're not able to budget aside, we're not even able to talk about it. The planning department has nothing to do with it. I love both my grades. I have nothing to do with it. After this thing is solved and changed, it's not involved. This is the city manager and city council who are conversating. I don't love this. If we're confused, this is kind of an issue for us. It's not our budget. We're at the city, the only way what other way would a city doesn't seem like any other I'm saying, we're here, you can get back to this question, that's great. But there's people here from West Dallas that don't have the opportunity to go and hear that information. And this is their chance to hear that information. But it is something where we have a lot of people, it's worrisome to have a fund that the city created over a big issue. This is a pretty major issue.
A volcano in the middle of the city of Dallas.
Exactly. You don't have our shirt on and you're saying that,
Yeah, no, I know what it is.
We have a recommendation to actually consider how we can fund
And I stay right across from you.
Oh yeah, wanted to ask you a question about that. So the air quality monitors, are they the type? I've seen the type that they have out here, and they're really.
Yeah, there's one here.
But it's only for like vehicle emissions. I'm trying to figure out when they're going to put ones that they can test for things like the volatile compounds, things like that.
Stuff, because the DCAM program that I referenced, the county air monitoring program, so those are non-regulatory monitors.
Right.
So they're not as large scale or as big or as expensive as the regulatory monitors.
Right.
We have two separate teams, one that does the DCAM, one that does regional air quality.
Okay.
And so that regional air quality team, they're contracted by the state to go out and maintain and collect the data used for anything from air quality index, weather, meteorological conditions, all that fun stuff.
Right, and like I said, I talked about it last year. I looked at your website and it was dang confusing. Whereas you got whereas you got something like airnow.gov, which as long as while we have it, it's very simple. You said you go on there and it shows you. Yeah, it even has a map that sits there and shows you where the pollution's coming from.
Yep.
But the problem is that only works for ozone. It only works for volatile compounds like NOx and stuff like that.
Right.
These guys have a valid complaint because of the fact that basically this is a man-made volcano in the middle of Dallas.
Right.
And it spreads all that stuff around. You've got asbestos, you've got lead, you've got mercury, you've got any other heavy metals, and those machines won't pick up stuff like that.
Right. The non-regulatory air monitors.
And so where do we see the monitoring you were talking about? Is there a website or something?
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, but I can show you where that one is. It's some of the one that's here, right?
Yep.
It's right outside the door.
There's one right here at the West Dallas Multipurpose. So if you go to, if you want to take a picture of it, there you go. Dallas Climate Action. Yep.
Do you know why? So, for example, like the independent A&M study that just came out, is that we're in the bottom 3% of air quality in the United States here, and that there's sulfur dioxide and lead and all kinds of things in the air right now that are cancer risk. Everyone in here is going to walk out of here with a higher cancer risk because of this. Do you know why your monitor is in the Texas A&M? And just right here, they did infrared monitoring of the emissions, and the infrared monitoring of emissions show that it's off the chart. The hydrogen. Do you know why these monitors wouldn't be signaling, saying, oh yeah, we got a problem here, versus the independent A&M studies are saying, yeah, no, this is absolutely toxic environment that people shouldn't be living in.
Alright, I'm not a smart guy. I don't know the exact difference between the monitors in the A&M study versus the non-regulatory monitors that we can deploy, but I just can't tell you. I don't know enough. There's Paul White, our director. He's our department director. And then
that card that you got there?
I got him out ready in case I want it.
Oh yeah. Of course. Thank you very much.
I got one.
Thank you, sir.
I think the gentleman that oversees and manages the DCAM program is a guy named Polk. Yeah, I'll go. O is an Omega, E is in Paul, D is in Paul, M is in Mary, E is in Echo. Wait, no, I butchered that. O is an Omega, N is in Nancy, and G is in Gear. I'm giving you. Okay, so O is an Omega, E, P, O, and G. Yep, and his last name is N, H-E-N-N-I. There you go. He's the gentleman that manages and oversees that division.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate
You're most welcome. You're most welcome. I wanted to make sure I see my sets of backup.
Sure. So basically, we identified that over 60% of the we have 11 and 12, 31 and 20 right now. So the idea is they're basically
Hey, don't forget that.
Thank you.
Yep.
Leo, your turn.
So they did.
Yeah, sure.
The state has come out earlier this year and says, well, you want somebody to move and they're non-conforming, because they are still complying with the campaigns and everything. Right. So it's when you to get somebody to move, you have to basically give them some money. So we were initially here to say, okay, well, let's fund that non-conforming use fund for lead. But then he's saying there isn't.
Well, and that's what I also wanted. Now I'm like, now I gotta go back and look at this because it's not the way that city employees operate, we only do
So this is a 5-year. They've been like working with this for 5 years. City council will listen, but in February is when the city passes a line item for non-conforming use. Right. And so now there's a question: why isn't it in the budget? Or why, if it was passed in February, why not they say we're going to do this? They didn't fund that money. It has a zero budget, but it was passed. And so I think that's a little bit of a disconnect.
It's kind of tough because it's almost now. So like that's specific
yeah, that's the way it's a 20-minute drive from my house.
Can you email me? Yes. After you read it? Yes. Because I committed to doing more and more and have to see how they have conversations, whether or not to right. But I don't know that. Exactly, yeah. And there's a process, but it's by authorization of the city council and the financial officer. If there's once all that
yeah, which is fine. And so I think that's the ask of this is, okay, let's fund that. So we can have a conversation.
camera on top.
Oh yeah, it's a 360 camera. So it does this, back, up, down. And then you put it up on YouTube, and then like people can put on VR headsets, or they can sit there and look at the screen, and they can just pan around.
That's cool.
Yeah, it makes it a lot easier because I don't have to crane my neck and look at people asking questions in the background. Yeah.
Yes, very. It's the first time I see you. See you.
See you a little bit.
So.
We actually done 1,000 in-house ourselves.
We do colors reflectors for the radios. So when you put them back in the chair, and I'm gonna get them like the color polish. You don't have to hang around.
I can go?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I got it. Nobody's gonna take that book, I promise. And so we put it like green.
We have a donor with Fotis who's wanting to put a microchip station somewhere to help the community. If they find a dog, scan the dog. It may be like your neighbor, 3 houses down. Oh, I know who that is. This is your dog.
Because you know, the Carvo in 2016, I wanted to get eventually connect everything, to it, and hey, radio shots and everything. But yeah, I mean, that's very nice. We have something like that scan. And when we used to do the kids, the Explorers back there, we started in West House, we used to get the dog to get loose and get the dog to just take it back. Because they knew it. And at night when criminals would jump in the you knew when the dog barked, oh, he's over there. And the dog said, I got him. And so that was, everybody knew the dog, and the dog said, they had the playtime, and then the kids had the playtime, But I love it, like, when he was there, the first one, it's coming back. I mean, that training, if you can do it, there's money right now, it's called art. They're trying to take them, dimensions. You can do that, man.
You've got my card.
And you, so what are you, like, public works transportation?
Public works transportation, buddy? Yeah. I'm not so much, I don't know everything about how to do a street. I'm more of the management leadership type stuff of how to.
Fernando, Gabriel.
Yeah, Fernando. I work with Fernando.
Here's why he started laughing up. We were at the basement, the one, and he started goes, "Yeah, we put speakers in because they run over your cats.
Don't say nothing, because you know we put speed coaches, the new ones, in 3 months, and then I brought the patient 36 to test them, and then, because he didn't understand, he goes, we saved, they were running over our cats. These speeders, you know, crazy ones, they didn't kill, you know, and then they got close to hitting our property, the houses, and also running over the kids. That's why we did that, the data. I see, now the cats now with the microchip, everything. That's what I'm saying. So you're part of the person, and we took the signs, you know, like the street signs. We put them on the Philadelphia style, you know, plastic light poles. We took that from the sidewalk and put them on there. And it goes like modern stuff, you know. West Side looks like too modern, but that is all connected because the disabled, you know, the kids now they're sidewalk barrier free.
Yeah, I look. We've done 150 barrier-free ramps just in District 6 this year.
You know, yeah, did we add this pond, the drainage over there? Yeah, did a ramp. And that's why we need the lights. County Water, you know, the drainage power pump, that lake. She put a trail, but they forgot the lights. And so, and Daniel Silver, is that here with you? Daniel Silver?
Yeah, because he works on campus. He does the lights.
1,300, we already got a petition, and he don't have the funding.
Well, that's going to be the funding issue. I was about to say it's the money.
No, but and here's what I said, because I go in here and everybody goes, how much is it? He goes, 5,000. 5,000. So how many do you want? You know, because we don't know what you're not getting a nonprofit. He goes, yeah. And see, they don't tell you the project. If I can get anybody, or even get Uncle to do it, you know. See, that's the contest we have, you know, but we don't know. And so, we're waiting at it. Well, you got to tell your councilman. And he got chewed out with the current VC. They want to put light up. It's called Projects on Light Operation Safe Practice.
Yeah.
And so when we do that, the mayor already put light crosswind and Shaw. He put it at 12 years, but he don't know. Just, you know, you imagine the kids are walking safe. If you put that light, well, thanks, man. Man, you got the Dominguez.
You weren't waiting on me, were you?
No, he's
I'm waiting on him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I just wanted to make sure.
He's the one who got me started in this. Like I said, it wasn't for him.
Okay,
Yeah.
this was okay.
Yeah.
Now, that assistant city manager kind of slow it down. She's new to
DHA, Cambridge. Yeah, that's where they're all.
She's giving me a history lesson on the city. And I served 30 years as a city commissioner. And I could help her well. I've worked with
Public Works, man, so you work there? I need to have
Well, I'm not sure I could say I'm way up there, but
No. And like I said, we already have, but like I said, and 5,000. That's nothing. Yeah. But once you put it, because illegal dumping, they're shooting up there. So we come back with the federal and.
I've got to go. It was good to see you. Let me see you. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, you too.
Let me know when you're ready to come back.
When we have like the parks or those trails, you know, but we look at some they have needs.
Right, yeah.
And then they shoot guns up there, and that deal. So we started looking at the schools, you know, the other side is shot up. Nobody's doing political. It's on Salesforce, and so I did the lawsuit. I mean, I better put that in my bin. Y'all better, when y'all find needles at the park, who do you report it to? Yeah, I have to go and do that. But it's just common sense. The kids stepping in that needle, HIV, hepatitis, and everything. But it's like I said, one thing. But if heck no, I don't do something because you can't. It's common sense. Like, why don't you do it?
And that's what the city counts stuff, and that's if it's not counted, it don't count. You know, and that's where you got to report when vandalism, shots, and if you don't do it, there's no problem. That's where we're like somebody says, oh, this road's terrible. There's all these accidents, all these things, and we go and look in the system. Nobody's ever reported an accident. Nobody's ever reported
You see
a problem.
something, say something.
Exactly. It's like.
But see, my bone to pick though, and that's specifically with Public Works, is I'll put the ticket in, and then there's this whole buck passing that I get really tired of. I give it to Public Works sends it over to Court Enforcement will send it to Parks, and then it gets closed out. And then I have to sit there and escalate it to my city council person or something like that. I'd rather not do that, because it takes me 30 minutes to put together a proper 311 ticket. I've given these guys everything. I'll give them pictures, satellite photos, GPS coordinates, a report on what was going on here, and we're talking about multiple days worth of footage that I put in there. And then all of a sudden, for somebody to sit there and say, we didn't see anything wrong, close it out.
Yeah. Well, and there's a problem with 311. Without a doubt. I can tell you.
Yeah.
And it's not just one problem. A problem we have, because parking enforcement works for me right now too. Yeah. Oh. And
so I got a lot to talk to you about. Well, I live in a different area.
So the problem with like 311, so they'll go in, an officer will go in and wrote, I wrote 3 citations, done all this thing, and it's written, is this open to the public? Yes. And so they're thinking, you're going to get it. Well, you get some email, your case has been closed. And what was actually put in the system didn't get sent to you. So you knew, oh, somebody came out here, they wrote 3 citations or towed a car, and it's like, so we get all these, what do you mean it was closed? The car's still there.
So that was the thing, is I started complaining, and the next thing you know, they started putting comments in my email field. So that's kind of helped. But I also talked to Omar about that this year on May. He was saying that just because they close a ticket doesn't mean that it's closed. And I said, okay.
That's another
so I put a 3011 complaint in, and I said, hey, can you guys add a category like like I work with service now in my job, and we have multiple fields. We don't just have open, close. It's open, pending, waiting on parts, talking to vendors, stuff like that. Can you add more categories to it? And so I never heard anything back about that. They said, we'll put it under advisement, and it's just one of those things where just every single time.
They're messing with 311 at the highest levels, I guess, and there's supposed to be some improvements. But all the service requests, they all have service level agreements for, we're going to close in 3 days, we're going to close in 5 days.
And that's the feeling I get.
And that's I got to make this. And so even for us, there's things that are engineering related. It's going to take 186 months because they're going to have to do a speed study. They're going to have to do all these things, and so they have to. Well, we've ordered the speed study, and you have to close it. It's still being worked on, but the SR got closed.
Okay, that's what's happening. So the other thing
we don't know how the bill is created.
Yeah. And I would like to know that, because like in some places we have problems with parking, and we call it in. They get rid of the junk cars. They do the thing. The guy moves it around. And one neighborhood, what they did, the smart thing was they painted a fire lane. And so I was wondering, how we get that kind of thing submitted.
So the only people that can paint the fire lane is the fire department. And because we don't do that, that's the fire department does it. But one of the things we did this year, and I know this is in this area, but this is all over the city. You have people that run these pop-up shops, basically.
Yeah.
And so they have all these cars they're going to work on the street, and they're leaving them. They all have expired registration or no registration.
Ordinance 24.2173.
Well, I can name multiple places this is going on. And so this, I listened to people talk about it. Man, there wasn't a lot we could do. I wrote a new city ordinance that made it illegal to park a car with expired registration on a city street.
That was 24-2173. Okay,
I wrote that.
Hey, but your officers, a guy put a plate on the other one, but it was expired. He goes, well, what do you do? And then they had what's his name, Gregory John. He's parking enforcement, but he's DPD. Well, call him to give him a ticket. They didn't know what to do, and this is what that's how it is at cross.
Well, that's what. So now what we've done, because now I have an actual violation, because a lot of the times they're sitting there with paper plates, but there's no violation. Well, so we go in where they're running these things, and we'll start writing tickets, but they don't care if the car's not registered to them.
Right.
So we'll do it for a few weeks, and then we've made stickers that says we're going to start towing all the vehicles on the street. And we went in, we've towed hundreds of cars of these operations because we can tow for any parking violation, including your registrations.
Okay, that was a good piece to let me know.
We've hired 100.
Well, y'all got code enforcement even helping you out with these things.
Yeah, it's supposed to, but what we did was, like you said, we forced enforcement, then First of July, remember, no paper tag. But we were doing that, like getting ticket for enforcement. Then once one put a plate on it, hard plate. Now we got the address. Now we hit it with what is it, legal business, like legal land use. That we connected to that street. See, we were doing that. And it goes, how you alleviate it? But it's like us thinking common sense, because these guys, like he was saying, for example, 24-hour violation. I remember back then when we were doing international exchange, that if you move the car, because they said if you just move it
6 inches,
he goes, okay, he moved it. I go, no, because we have on videos that the car was not working, and they were pushing at 5 a.m. They go, hey, it moved. But they push it, so I'm like, but I remember that if it was the car in the vicinity, you still tag it, And that's what I did. I said, okay, y'all gonna play that. So I did, blocking the trash cans, the 5 foot. So I started using all that. He goes, okay, and so we started hitting them. But all this, we wanted to make sure that they were selling cars. Remember, like DPS, they were defective. They're not passing emissions, and the flood don't catch them.
So that's TxDOT?
Well, see, Texas is supposed to have already implemented all metal plates.
Right. That was January. That was July.
Yeah, and so
now it starts at first of September now.
There's all these businesses that print these fake plates,
right.
But parking enforcement, we can't tell if it's fake or not. So we're kind of that's where they go and change these out. Once it goes to the metal plates, that's going to end that.
I started seeing some weird stuff.
The county goes, at first of July it started, but now September they give them that time, so they can.
So, because that would explain. Because I've seen paper tags that even August, and I was like, wait a minute, I thought we were supposed to stop this.
Yes. Hey, thank you, man. You we need to catch up because we're old school. Good school.
Give me a call. My desk number actually goes to my cell.
Okay.
So anytime. You too.
Yeah, sure. And also that though, so if the apartment sometimes they're using the apartment complexes parking lots to do the illegal cars. That goes to code at that point.
That's code. We're just
that's the smart thing they're doing now is they're taking it off the street and they're starting putting it in the apartment complexes.
So the apartment complexes, they end up. This is where it got moved to the street because they go, oh no, you can have one car. Everything after that is $50 per car, and they find out who's putting these junk cars there and they'll evict them. So that's where.
So contact the people who. Okay.
Yeah. If you tell the apartment complex, they may do something to there because a lot of the things that are happening is their car's in disrepair. They're leaking oil, transmission fluid.
No, these guys are actually running a detail shop. They got shirts and everything. They're running it. They got a repair shop. I was like,
yeah.
And the reason that I know that the owners don't care because they're in Scottsdale, Arizona. They're in Los Angeles, California. They're nowhere near these apartment complexes.
That's where, as parking enforcement, we can handle the on-street parking much faster than any other department.
Okay.
Just but we don't go. My big concern about just towing is I don't want to tow indiscriminately, and people start complaining about it, and then we lose that too.
Right.
And so I'm very careful about how we tow. We tell people, we give them a lot of notice. We're about to start towing. We do it in English and Spanish, and then there's like, we told you.
Yeah.
And
and like I said, and there are some people that are just hard up, and I look and I see, and I was like, okay, it's just that it's got to be something like 1 month goes by, 2 months go by. I'm like, okay, man, like, come on.
It does take us some time because, like I said, the city wants to count everything, so we write a bunch of tickets, and we can go, this is how many tickets we wrote last month. It has been ineffective because we already know they don't care.
Yeah, they don't. Yeah.
So now we're going to tow them, and so whenever somebody goes to the media and says they towed our 14 cars, it was my life savings, and we can say, but wait, we came out. We wrote a lot of tickets. They were disregarded. We put notices we're going to start towing, and none of that worked. And then ultimately we had to tow.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's what we're very careful.
No, I mean, just like, because that's what happened with nuisance abatement. They had that problem where they were knocking down houses and somebody sued them and they lost that case. So they have to be very careful when they've got like flop houses, abandoned properties, just the what do you call it, blights and stuff like that. So I get it.
Yeah. We're very sensitive people. Look, there's a lot of working people out there that are just trying to make ends meet.
Right.
And I'm not looking to hurt anybody.
Right. We never do it out of spite. Yeah.
You have to have a good living environment. They actually cause safety hazards because a lot of them have like torn metal.
They're damaging the streets. There's stuff growing through it. Then on top of that, I've had visibility issues where there's kids riding around on bikes and stuff, and they can't see around the big giant vans or something. So I get it. I totally get it. I just thanks for your help. It's just that sometimes I look at something and it gets deferred, and I'm like, hey man, what?
You can always call me and I'll check on it for you.
Okay, appreciate that. Thanks.
All right.
Good to see you.
Oh, I forgot I had this dang thing turned on.
You said you had a 365.
Citation got dismissed because a lot of people couldn't go over there. They were, transitioning my seniors and everything. And this was our court,
Okay, so what you feel like is it's clerks being missing, not
Yeah,
community.
I mean, it's still open. All the people are still in there except for the clerk.
Yeah,
LaCabra's here every day.
Okay. Oh, she's there now?
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Well,
okay.
not right now, but yeah, she's
No,
here
yeah,
every
no,
day.
yeah, but I wanna say,
And
yeah,
then
yeah.
the new community service coordinator for West Dallas is
Genevieve,
there every day.
yeah.
Genevieve.
Genevieve, yeah. No, I already, yeah. So, because
She's
before it
here
was
every
just,
day.
they were like, everything was shut down and they had to go over there and then,
no,
so
just
now.
the clerk left. Just
Yeah.
Martha. Martha's downtown.
Okay.
But on Tuesdays, Martha's here.
Okay.
And the judge is here 3 of the 4 Tuesdays a month. And on the 4th
Michelle
one,
Buendia is now the.
yeah, she's the director.
Maybe
Yeah.
Northwest.
Yeah.
And 3 out of 4 Tuesdays, the judge
Yes,
is here.
yes. But then on the 4th Tuesday, they have a giant. I mean, they have the
we
biggest
don't
TV
schedule.
you've
We
ever
don't,
seen.
we don't
It's
manage
like the
their
Wizard.
schedule.
No, I.
But yeah.
No, I'm glad everybody's coming back because, you know,
Yeah.
it was like.
Yeah, no, they didn't leave. They
This
just moved the
center
clerk.
is always active nowadays.
Yeah, because it could
I
be
don't
like.
know if you remember, like, what, 6-7 years ago, this center was not always active.
No, I mean, I'm glad these, like I said, because I live in the Northwest Division, and so
Yeah.
what happened to us is they completely tore down the government building, and then
Really?
they moved our judge. I got 3 judges. Our
Your
judge is over
municipal judge or your county judge?
It's the justice of the peace kind of thing.
Oh.
So our JP's got scattered. So and I got to go way over to Hillcrest just to get
Oh,
to.
that's that new building.
Yeah, that's Judge Cedar. So he was our guy over here at Northwest, and then they closed us down, tore down the building, and they're selling it to some developer now. And so yeah, so now all of a sudden, like you were saying, you got senior citizens, you got people that have transit, and now they got to go halfway across. You know,
I just, you know.
I don't know the ins and
and
outs of
we
the court
do-
scheduling, but I
we
do
do
know
do
that
it
they're
good-
still here.
Yeah.
It was.
Some
It was.
But the only
Wednesdays,
thing that we will
apparently.
not be.
Tuesdays.
Yeah, we always had a social where they knew all the things, and so when someone came there, we would always help them.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
instead of
So
trying
we
to
still
write
have
them
all
a ticket
that.
or
Mhm.
something,
Yeah, no.
and get them help, you know, like, you know.
We also have caseworkers
Yeah, yeah,
in our
yeah.
community services team and also senior services back there too, depending on what the need is. Yeah.
No, appreciate it. Like I said, that just, you know, because it was brought
Okay.
up.
No, I get it. I get it. I get it.
Before I
Yeah.
hit federal, you know.
And
No
if
problem.
they also if you need to go to drug court or veterans court, they'll give you a bus pass if you don't have transportation.
All right.
Well, we still have buses.
To us, it's like someone goes, well, why not? If we're gonna start the single, but they go, but other people, it goes, they're playing everybody, and they want to land because they want to do something else.
I'm telling you what's happening.
Oh.
So if you let so right now the city got this fund. The state made a rule, and so they had to comply with it. But they created a fund on their own. That's not what the state made. They said we're gonna create a fund, and that is gonna keep us from. If we want to get rid of stuff like that, you got to put money in that fund, and that's the only way we can get rid of it.
What's it called when eminent domain, kind of?
Yeah.
Community eminent domain.
Yeah.
I want to call it, as you already did, community eminent domain.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, it's like what we supposed to be like neighborhood associations. When someone goes to like a church or somebody,
Yeah.
they go out and go, we can get it.
Yeah, but the interesting part about this one is if you pay for it, they still own it.
Oh. Like this, like that HAK, the deed, the deed. He goes, oh yeah, you it's
So you-
your name, but you're gonna fix it and you're gonna live there. But when you say this company, I'm first choice.
Yeah, but so it will stop the shingles. So if you pay for them, it will stop, which is what we want to do. Hey, you can't run that thing 24/7 anymore. You gotta shut it down.
But they can do something.
They can do something else. But the zoning change is coming. And that is where you can stop them from doing all of it. So we're trying to double up and say, let's influence both processes so GAF can stop and we can stop all of that.
Yeah, that's what I tell people. Like, you know, when we work with this, I give you A and see what you're gonna do with it.
Yeah.
But I don't give B and C.
Yeah.
Because, you know, even they might look like everything that shines is not gold. You know?
Yeah.
And they throw you all that, goes, and all of a sudden we see what you do, but then run with it. But I'm saying, no, you end up worse than, hey. And but yeah, that's what I'm saying. But my deal is like, what are you gonna do there? Because, you know, for this area, you gotta just not look at that, but look at the.
Oh, and the problem is, the thing is who controls what happens there. So now, if we're not involved with this, GAF, do they care who they give it to after they leave? Nah. They gonna sell that thing to somebody else just to make money.
Yeah.
And they probably gonna sell it to somebody doing multifamily. They gonna say they clean it up. It won't be cleaned up.
No.
Then they gonna sell it to one of them big multifamily.
The 800 turkeys to Brother Bills.
Yeah.
Because who put the SUP for Brother Bills? Who? Victor Toledo. KB, yeah.
So this is what's going on. So we got to influence their plan because their plan is to make money hand over fist, and that's why if we do it this way, the community can have more say over what's happening.
What was your name?
Caleb Roberts.
That's good shit. But
Yeah.
you know what I did, like to train the girls one time because with what was his name? The city had one, which is Britt Brown, Shalonda's the king.
Yeah.
And so what we did was on the north of Singleton, you can't build more than 2 stories.
Yeah.
Then on the south side, you can start 2, then go there.
Yeah.
But they had like they wanted to buy the corner of Bataan and Singleton.
Yeah.
And here's what I'm saying on this because like you said, what's more that these you said money is about money, but here's something when you give them something. I said, well, you want to build here, you want to get the people, you make it into apartments. That's fine, for 2 stories, but get the kids that are going to college to be independent, put them on there. And they started looking at that. It goes. And then they brought it. They wanted me to go, but the president was Raymond. I said, no, you deal with him because he's the president.
Yeah.
But he said, so the young architects, they had a big meeting and they wanted us to go because see, one thing they like is they want to, like say, have a project that's worldwide. Say, oh, we did this, but why don't you just do it?
Definitely.
Like this one right here. What's it gonna do to keep our next generation going in empowerment?
But that is the issue is if we let the process play out, GAF is going to be able to dictate what goes next.
Yes.
And they don't care nothing about your kids or your family. They want their money.
Yeah.
And we're saying, okay, how about we pay them to get them to stop their use, and then we can have more say over what they do next. So there's another thing. This area is in what's called the Fort Worth Avenue TIF. So there's money to be used and spent, and we could advocate, hey, we want X amount of dollars to be used to look inside that dirt. That thing been over there for 100 years. We don't know what's under there.
No soil test, no water, nothing.
Yeah, we don't know. It could be nuclear.
I don't hear nobody. It goes like right now. He said, "Where's that?" I'm gonna tell you like it is. Like I said, I told him before all this stuff.
Yeah.
I told that at DHA, I know because I know something. I said, hey, y'all need to start doing water testing, soil testing, air, whatever you go. Y'all need to start doing. But no neighborhood has done the water testing.
Well,
and it's free. But we need like independent. We need our experts.
Exactly.
Because they can, because
the city gonna look at it and it's gonna be off the charts and be like, oh, I don't know what happened to that report.
The big one over there, called tomorrow on the Lady Heart.
Yeah.
Yeah, it goes. They tell you, okay, it's good here, but then I had a reporter with me, but her boyfriend was one,
Yeah.
One day, so he knew it.
Yeah.
He said, yeah, that's fine right here, but it adds up, and that's gonna not, it's gonna get you.
Definitely.
And see, they don't tell you. Go, so what it is, they print out a 5-year and you watch it. What's all these numbers? See, and this is our stuff. Now these leaders go to the 7th floor.
Yeah.
And say, hey, can you read me this and what does it mean? They don't want to tell you.
But that's what we're getting into is how do we get control over that problem? Because like when the lead smelter happened, they just paved over that place and put a gas station up there.
We wanted to show it because y'all do Singleton United. What the heck is it? It goes, no, create a neighborhood association, and that's what we did. We call it Little Lone Star.
Yeah.
And so we did that. We started hitting over there, and that's why that's why I said you create a neighborhood because the safety have to work. Once you start stepping, because what they had is when we're out there at the 5th floor.
Yeah.
There was a guy that was showing us Warren, and there was another one, and he was showing what you could put on there, on the thing. But what they had there, what they did was, once your house fell down, you couldn't put another one.
Definitely.
You had to stay.
Yeah.
And so people wait a minute, I want to fix my house. No, you can't no more because of zoning.
Yep. Yeah, and
it was only for industrial, commercial, whatever.
Yeah,
and then now they get you, and they start putting trash, putting this, and so now you have to sell it. And rock bottom, and this guy, because they were telling me, allegedly telling, but no sources to me. They say, hey, Gap was out there trying to pay for the land for like $3 million. Well, why?
Yeah.
Why were they trying to buy on that the west side of Manila?
Yeah.
And then you had the landscape, and you had other. Why? It says flipping and making money, man. But it says, so why the hell you fighting, supporting this, messing with us if you're not gonna do the right thing? It's about just like, the Garden of Eden.
Definitely.
Kick you out,
And that's what we're trying to do. And that's what we keep fighting for. And the city makes it hard. They say we don't know.
Because they're in it.
They in on it. And even we're trying to meet with the councilwoman. Janie has a case against the city. And she said she can't meet with us. I said, I don't got no case against you. Why you can't meet with me?
So, well, this is what I'm saying. He goes, West Side's doing one, someone's doing, but they're not all official. They're doing this, but we never get to get West Dallas, one accord. We said, let's go fight. You want to go fight? Let's get a petition. Let's go. But see, nobody.
Well, I got to talk to the other
And you look like you're gonna tell like it is. You're not gonna sugarcoat to us because. Just like, he just right there he goes, you can play with me?
Yeah.
But I know, I said, listen, once you start hurting my kids and my seniors, this is me. He knows it. We don't play around with that.
And that's what.
And if you don't care about this and you're gonna flip, it goes, then no, we don't need that.
Definitely. And that's what's happening. And we gotta make it loud, and because people gotta know that people are still. And a lot of people we talk to say, oh well, I know that's bad, but they ain't gonna do nothing about it.
You are like, here's because the air quality monitors, like I was telling the first day didn't work because I went to Dessa, that's what Carlos and Kevin took off.
Yeah.
Because I said, because he said he showed a presentation that and over there in East Dallas by saying that it was spiking.
Yeah.
And so they found out what it was. It was 18-wheeler or something, remember?
Yeah.
And that's it. And then Doc was here, Doc for the Southwestern.
Yeah.
And I was with Kevin. And then Kevin, you already know the answer. I already know the answer. And the Doc goes, well, I'm gonna ask you. He goes, these 18-wheelers, these car lines to the schools, they're right here. Does that hurt my kids? And he looked at me, what are you asking me for? He said, no, it does. because y'all, it started saying right there when they were saying that they were spiking and they brought UTC.